We're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
We're live, pal. It's Wednesday. It's 7:14, turning into 7:15. You have nothing better to do.
Coming to you live from a sold-out crowd.
Come watch us open a pack of baseball cards. Start the background stuff, because
what do we got on the background?
This is the 1990 All-Star game from Wrigley Field. I queued it up to the section where we have player introductions. So anybody that likes to pay attention to the madness in the background gets to see probably a bunch of people that will be coming out of the pack of cards that I have to my right hand side, because we are working with 1990 Donruss with today's card set. Do we have anybody in the room yet, or is
yeah, there's a couple people.
Okay, all right. So
I've got an audio quality check on that.
As usual, we like to make sure that everybody can hear us. So audio check, thumbs up. My audio might not be great because my
voice is
a little hoarse-y. I'm not getting coronavirus. I'm just dealing with a little bit of a scratch boy from a lot of talking today. So here's our pack of cards. 1990 Donruss. They sent this to me. I like the creased edges. That's the first thing that I noticed here. It's bright orange, but I like these creased edges. Shows that they pack the 17 or so cards, 16 cards, with a lot of attention and love, and set it up. So, producer Matt, can you tell me what we're looking for in the Donruss 1990 set?
I can. Is this the pack that we had something special built up for, or is that tomorrow?
This is this pack is actually our close personal friend Ron Hines,
who is actually in the chat right now.
Special shout out to Ron Hines. He is the proud owner. He bid $10 American and won the auction against nobody. So we're going to open this pack, and I'm going to send all of the cards to him. So our hope is that we've got some gems in this. At the end of the video, we'll tell you all about the charity that we've selected and more special shout-outs towards the end. So stay tuned. Matt, stats.
So, the Donruss 1990, very, very popular, I guess, for collectors. Yeah. Now, because of the reverse negative...
Juan Gonzalez, and aren't there a few other cards that have the reverse negatives? No. The Juan Gonzalez is a reverse negative. That's the only one.
It's the only one in the pack.
That's known in the pack. But there's also the
there's
MVP.
Also the MVP John Smoltz card.
Yes.
When they were printing it, they mixed it up. So Tom Glavine's face is actually on the John Smoltz MVP card.
It's nuts.
Now, with that said, obviously those two cards are going to be two of the top ones that we're looking for.
Definitely.
But the reverse negative Juan Gonzalez card, it's his rookie card, correct?
It is, yes. Rated rookie.
The reverse negative retails right now for about $100. The regular rookie card is about $20.
Right.
The other ones that Mike wants to keep his eyes out on. We have a Ken Griffey Jr. card for about $25.
Of course, because we're chasing Griffey's. Because this is Griffey's All-Star debut behind us, by the way. Gone.
We also have a Sammy Sosa rookie card for about $20.
That was before he became a white lady.
The Bo Jackson Diamond King for about $20. There is a Nolan Ryan King of something, which is
King of Kings.
King of Kings, valued about, is this Triple H? Or?
It's bowed down.
Valued about $30.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Nolan Ryan 5,000 strikeout card for that's valued about $20. And you had a Larry Walker rookie card you were eyeballing as well.
Future Hall of Fame. We're going into the Hall of Fame next year. Thank you. So take another sip. We're ready to open this pack of cards.
You want to give them a close-up?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, exactly. Close-up on the creases. I'm excited because, again, you got a lot going on in this card set. We got some mistakes. We got some fumblees. So
also, it says win instantly over 1 million prizes.
yeah, I
I don't know what the prizes are, but we might win one.
But there is a Carly Yastrzemski puzzle that's part of this.
I forgot about that.
So Yaz with I hope it's Yaz with the big sideburns. Shout out to Comic Book Guy on The Simpsons and Millhouse for having a lot of Carly Yastrzemski cards. Inside baseball. Boy, this is a tough one to get because the creases were so tight.
About the gum.
There's no gum. Sorry, guys, no gum. Puzzle pieces. Donruss stayed away from giving you treats to eat.
That's the Yaz puzzle?
The puzzle piece is pretty nondescript. There's no sideburns.
It's just the top of the
There's
bat.
no Yaz involved at all. I don't see his face. If you flip it around, though, like you can see in black and white, it shows you the final product. So, go on your own card hunt and try and find the Yastrzemski pieces to the puzzle that we don't have. So, let's push through here. A repeater to our leader of the pack. We had him in one of the other sets. I think it was the 88 set for Score. He's back, and he's a Boston Red Sox now. Danny Heap. As I said, again, another favorite of mine as a kid. I like Danny Heap. Here he was with Boston. I think this might have been pretty much the tail end of his career. A designated hitter. Shout out to Major League Baseball for getting that much closer to a universal designated hitter. Those of you who doubted that there would be a universal designated hitter, I hope you got egg on your face because I said last year that there would be, and the league proved me right. I hope they play this year. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to get all crazy. Card number 2. Another one. California Angels. Outfielder, at this point a DH. Again, another guy probably towards the end of his career. At one time a catcher for the Angels, Brian Downing. A pretty pivotal guy for the Angels through the 80s. A big key component to their playoff run in 86 that failed. From Yorba Linda, California, Brian Downing, hometown boy, a good solid bat. I think he had a pretty unique batting stance. I think the bat was like way up, kind of curled over his head, if I remember that correctly. The action shot doesn't do it any justice. Hold on to your britches, everybody. If you like Canada, and I know I don't, the next card up, it's part of their MVP set. As we mentioned before, the MVP set had some errors in it, but this one does not have an error in it, unless you're talking about guys who didn't pull their hats down. It's George Jorge Bell.
It looks like Andre 3000.
He kind of does look like Andre 3000, maybe. But he certainly has to pull his hat down. I don't know if that's, a thing that the Canadians would do, is like puff their hats like way up high.
Well, he is
or he's got a big
not Canadian at all.
No, he's not Canadian. He's not a native of Canada.
He's a very much so Dominican man.
He's a transplant. But he was a solid ball player. He was one of the best guys in the American League during the 80s into the early 90s. Jorge Bell.
Your brother valued that at a Canadian dime.
Oh, a Canadian dime. All right. Well, hey, if you got the cash to pay for that. We've got a Baltimore Orioles infielder, Rene Gonzalez. Probably a second baseman, if I venture to guess, because ain't no way he's coming close to short or third with Cal Ripken on that team. Even second base, he probably wasn't a candidate to be your second baseman because old F-face Billy Ripken was on the team. Real... nepotism going on in the Baltimore Orioles camp in those days.
Utility infielder playing mostly third base.
Okay, all right.
With the 87 season between the O's and Rochester.
All right, so a mid-season, late-season call-up kind of guy. I don't really know that much about Rene Gonzalez. Sorry, Ron, not a star. But, hey, we got a Diamond King, and nothing says Kings of Baseball like Bryn Smith. Spotty at best, I would say his career. Starter, probably had a season or two where it looked like the arrow was pointing up, and then, kind of fell off the face of the earth. But is Bryn Smith behind me?
Oh, no, Roberto Alomar.
Oh, all right. Well,
Tony Gwynn.
even better. But yeah, Bryn Smith was a diamond cat. I guess this might have been like hot off of his best season in '89, and then the Expos really. This was the dying days of the Expos too.
Whoever recorded this needs a new VCR.
Let's mail him a VCR.
We have one.
Minnesota Twins. Rick Aguilera. This was the resurgence of Rick Aguilera when he started to become a pretty lethal reliever, if I remember correctly, because he had gone from the Mets organization, had signed on with the Twins the season before. The Mets used him as a starter. Went over to have a pretty good run as a reliever in the early part of the '90s. Kind of a lost name. He's not in the same breath of a Dennis Eckersley, Doug Jones type, but for a little time there, he really thought Rick Aguilera was pretty top of the league. Here we go. I think this was an all-star at some point. Maybe not the season that's behind me, but Ernie Witt, another Canadian, or another player who played in Canada,
on a Canadian team,
who also has his hat pulled down properly, like a gentleman.
I feel like we've pulled in Ernie Witt before.
We have not pulled Ernie Witt in our set. I would know, because I like basically seeing a strong hitting catcher. A guy who's probably pretty decent defensively. Look at the crouch action shot, a guy that probably choked up on his bat a little bit. Seem to, when they crouch, when they choke up on the bat, that's the kind of mark of a scrappy ball player.
A Euclid-esque.
Well, Euclid was big.
No, didn't he have
big stretch like herky jerky? Speaking of jerkies, Randy Johnson. Those of you who know me know my affectionate nickname for Randy Johnson, and that is Deadbeat Dad, because he's for real skipped out on some alimony payments and some child support payments in the early part of the 2000s when he was a Yankee.
We got a new competitor from Mustache Mountain.
Yeah, well, it's Trash Stash is what that is. And this is really before his mud flap grew out too.
Mullet Mountain.
He's a Moulin Rouge guy. That's not a rookie card. If you want to bring that back up and just check the back or show the people at home the back. That's early into his career. Hell of a fastball, Hall of Fame stats, you name it. On the field, tremendous. Intimidating dude. He was super tall. I think he was just about 7 feet tall, right?
6'10".
6'10", like a skyscraper.
Leading up
of
to
a ball
the
player.
1990 season, he had only pitched 33 total games.
Wow. Okay, so very young into that.
And at that point, 4.48 career ERA.
High ERA. So he didn't really hit his stride. But sure, I'm not going to take that much away from him, aside from him being kind of a dirtbag in his real life.
What's the unit measurement for his child?
Oh, I don't know the exact what he owed.
Unit measurement, get it?
Because he's the big unit.
Yeah, maybe he should make that payment in one big unit.
Boo! All right,
I'll keep reaching, dude.
I know. Yeah. Let's reach and find out if anybody knows anything about Mike Balicki or Mike Bellicky. Apparently, according to this
Looks
card,
like a sidearm, right?
might have had a little bit of a sidearm. Was also a pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, who were behind us in the All-Star game. Mike Balicki not in the All-Star game. I haven't heard.
I
his
appreciate
name
a guy that has the long sleeves under the jersey.
I do. Is it is it a tight cuff, or does he have the sort of floppy?
It's like almost. It looks like a floppy sweatshirt.
Yeah.
But the sleeves have some movement to them because you see they're coming up.
I like that. See, more pitchers these days should have that. They all like to wear. If they're wearing anything underneath, it's real Under Armour, tight to the skin. I like a pitcher that's got a little bit of that sort of arm flop on their undershirt.
Third in the NL in wins in 1989.
Really? here I was
And
underselling.
then he got bounced down to the minors.
Unbelievable. See, the tide turns on these guys as fast as possible.
My, how the turntables have...
We got San Francisco Giants. This guy was probably part of their championship team in 1989. Pat Sheridan, outfielder. Outfield might have played a little bit of infield too as a fallback. I know the name because it's super Irish and all Irish people know each other, but I do not really remember what the career trajectory was for a Pat Sheridan. Somebody out there probably has to know. If I'm missing something, if I missed a really good rookie season from him in like the early part of the 80s, or if he like went to Korea and had an outstanding career as a Korean baseball player.
The Royals and the Tigers traded to the Tigers in '89.
Okay.
To the Giants in '89.
Okay, but hey, was still hitched his wagon to the right star and ended up on that World Series.
Pat Sheridan resembles somebody who my dad would probably have had a story at the bar with.
Okay, all right. So he's salt of the earth. He's a salt of the earth guy. Hey, who likes lefties? I do. I'm a lefty.
I'm a lefty as well.
Lefties forever. Bob Kipper, a lefty starter, lefty specialist, did pitch for the Angels before this, and again cut from the same cloth of like a John Tudor maybe, same sort of delivery, but yeah, Bob Kipper was a pretty fierce pitcher for a little bit of time there. They didn't throw as hard then. Bob Kipper probably pitched 8 innings a start. You didn't have to worry about bringing in your bullpen when Bob Kipper was there. Could probably throw 150 pitches a game if he felt up to it or didn't get trounced. Another good quality of those 80s and early 90s pitchers was the durability. And I find that Bob Kipper probably was durable. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm really shining up Bob Kipper here, aren't I?
Bob Wayne Kipper.
All right, our next guy here, catcher for the Cincinnati Reds, Jeff Reed. I believe Jeff Reed was a platoon guy. So you had Jeff Reed and Joe Oliver was the other catcher. Way far down the totem pole when it comes to great Reds catchers after Johnny Bench. But yeah, Jeff Reed, the Reds went to the World Series in 1990, so I would guess that Jeff Reed probably had his had his head doused in champagne, high-fiving Chris Sabo, low-fiving with Eric Davis. That's who I'm thinking of. The real camaraderie. I'm thinking that Reds locker room was probably full with really tight, good brothers in the Reds locker room.
Since he didn't lock down the starting job in the '88 season until the final month of the
a late bloomer. Well, okay. So when they expand the rosters, then Jeff Reed gets his time to shine. Time to shine. I'm not going to get this name right. Joe Boever? Boever? Boever. Bover. See, they don't have the pronunciations on the back of these. Joe Bover. If I can't pronounce his name, that means I don't know enough about him.
Yeah.
So
let's
I'm going to pass him along.
Over the rainbow.
Find the thing that I missed about him. He's got a mustache, right?
Yep.
Then he's all right with me. Mustache Joe Boever or Boever. All right. Here's a great baseball name. Can't mispronounce Bip. Bip Roberts. At this time with the San Diego Padres infielder, I think he did switch to outfield or vice versa, outfield infield. Diminutive guy. We'll go to our usual. I'll probably have his height wrong, although I'm not looking at the back of the card.
I noticed that. I was waiting for you to not look.
He's a short dude. I'm gonna pin him at let's say 5'9" for Bip Roberts.
Oh,
did I nail it?
5'7".
5'7". He's shorter than I thought.
I was hoping because usually you either undershoot a lot or you're way over the top.
Yeah. Well, with Bip Roberts, it's not hard to be over the top. He's 5'9", which for those paying attention, that's my height. So I'm saying that I'm short like a Bib Roberts.
This is
type.
a Leon Joseph Roberts, aka Bip. The rarity that you see on the back of a card. They don't have his minor league statistics for 1987.
Maybe he didn't play in the minors.
No, it just says minor leagues.
Okay.
Every other card it shows. If you take a look at that, it's pretty interesting.
He just minor leagues. Maybe he had so many like different teams that he played for that they didn't want to really narrow it down,
or they couldn't trace it,
or the trace just like he plays the minor leagues.
They sent him to play with whatchamacallit from Major League. God damn.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Just keep moving.
You got it. All right, we really nailed that one. Another repeat offender. We had his rookie card in the 1982 set. Tom Bernowski. Bruno. This is when he was bounced over to the Cardinals. It looks like in the back half of the '88 season, after he had won the World Championship with the Minnesota Twins in '87. Again, another kind of memorable guy from the '80s. Power hitter, decent outfielder. Would have been I think probably would have been a pretty solid asset to your playoff run.
Led the Cardinals in home runs in '89, and then led them in home runs and RBIs in '88.
See, these are the peak years for a guy like Tom Bernowski.
Last card boy.
Here we go, last card boy. Are you ready? Randy's ready. Phillies third baseman Randy Reddy. The man who probably took over for Michael Jack Schmidt, or he would have platooned with Charlie Hayes. Randy Max Reddy. Phew. Why isn't your name just Max Reddy, guy? He's honestly, this guy's a bottom of the pack guy. You know, he's not. He wouldn't be the type of guy that's like, oh, Randy Reddy, this is going to be a great set.
Speaking of bottom of the pack,
we're coming to the end here.
We need your leader of the pack.
I'll get to my leader of the pack. You got to show people. People want to see what Randy Reddy looks like.
It's also a little bit on the back of the.
A little bit on the back. It's all removable. I don't know why.
That's a great baseball player, right? Like he looks like he's a baseball player.
He's in a crouch, yeah. Oh, it's a good action shot before the action happens, and I'll be honest, like that's a good Phillies uniform with the pinstripe and that hard sort of solid piping on the sleeve running down the leg, the work through. But I gotta toss my leader of the pack to old deadbeat dad himself, Randy Johnson. He's the most memorable of this ragtag bunch. George Bell is fine, but he didn't pull his hat down. Aguilera, probably on the upswing of Aguilera's career, so maybe not memorable enough. Randy Johnson's the Hall of Famer in this set, so we'll call him. We'll call it Randy Johnson as the leader of the pack, and that ends it. Ron,
let's explain the charity.
Ron Hines, our close personal friend, is getting all of these cards. The donation and all of our subsequent donations that we get on any of the cards that you guys buy or bid on or harass me for, they will go to another friend and a frequent guest and watcher and commenter, Todd Cohen. Todd helps out and is the main driving engine for the New Jersey Pancreatic Cancer Foundation. He's a big proponent. He raises a lot of money, raises a lot of awareness. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Ron's $10 donation for this card set. Producer Matt and I are both matching his donation. And we're going to send that over. Todd, DM me with the details on how to send that over.
$30 total.
So that'll be $30 total that we're donating. We also sold the Danny Ainge card from the 1982 set from last week to Mike Corby, the captain. So he paid $5 for that card.
We will be matching those.
Matt and I will be matching those donations. My cousin Ian Fairclough, he didn't bid on any of the cards that were in these sets. Him and I made a side deal where we're trading some cards from my collection to his collection. He also made a $2 donation, so we're going to be we're matching that donation. So I think roughly we're close to right around, a little over, a little under $40, $50. I think we're closer to $50 total.
Oh yes,
from all the donations. So there'll be roughly a $50 donation made in the name of the leader of the Pack Show and the fans and the supporters to Todd's Pancreatic Cancer Foundation.
Thank you, Todd.
Todd was also sweet enough to send me 2 more packs of cards. So the reason why I'm like really amped up is he sent me a nice letter. I'd spin it around, but I don't want to show anybody at home or on the internet my shoot address. Like, you guys who need my address, you know where to find me. Sent me a nice letter. We got 2 packs of cards. We're going to bring those packs of cards up in later episodes. I don't want to spoil them right now.
Real quick, Patrick just made a blind bid on the next pack.
Okay, blind bid. We're going to talk about the next pack. But Todd also, in celebration of Mustache Mountain, sent us a bunch of fake mustaches.
I think tomorrow might be a mustache day.
If I can't grow a mustache in a day, I might throw a mustache
Tomorrow's going to be a mustache
Or
day.
this might be, like, maybe it's Wacky Eyebrow Mountain. I'm not really sure. I could, we could work with this. A nice note, some card requests. I believe that we will accommodate Todd.
Somebody just upped your brother's bid.
Okay, keep the bidding going. I can't live auctioneer and kind of jive at the same time. The other big development is that we have expanded our empire to now encompass a YouTube page. So we're going to still do the live videos here on Facebook, and we are getting the YouTube page going. After this episode airs, within the hour, I will upload this to YouTube. I will put a link back into the Facebook comment section. So if any of you want to send this to people that don't use Facebook, that don't use that version of social media, you can now share the information and all these awesome card unpacks to all of your friends, your relatives, your aunts and uncles who don't really understand the internet, but you can sit them in front of a YouTube video. You can broadcast onto your big televisions. Go hog wild. We're really looking to kind of build our audience and bring more people into the hobby that I have revolutionized, old baseball card opening. So I think that's a show. And just so that we know what we're bidding on, Thursday's show is a Fleer 1989, I think.
The bid's already up to $25.
All right, even better. So there's a Fleer card set, the only Fleer card set of the series so far. That's going to be pretty special. We look forward to it. I like the Fleer cards, so I'm really excited to pop it open. So that's a show for producer Matt, for the 1990 Oakland A's, for our spiritual leader and master, the great Muta. I hope everybody has a great night. Keep those bids coming in, and sayonara.